The cosmos are said to be vast beyond comprehension, and not only contain massive objects and points of light, but also voids of nothingness, pockets of impossible blackness stretching out over the surrounding stars, forbidding the open light to escape. And our curiosity has drawn us toward these existential enigmas. Ancient humans worshipped and obsessed over pinpointing cosmic gateways. And perhaps these grand structures we read about in the great myths and texts were attempts to build doorways to the cosmos, or even somewhere stranger. The circular mandala emblem is thought to be an ornate and symbolic interpretation of the self in psychology and religion. And countless examples come out of the cultures all over the world since antiquity. But some have noticed that the ones from Asia and Central America look almost technological and bear a strong resemblance to a modern machine that is in use today in the study of advanced physics, possibly creating doorways of its own. What if the secrets of this tech are within these archaic images, and the only barrier is proper interpretation, knowing the language in which they are written? New technology may be solving this problem very soon. A group of nuclear scientists in Switzerland are determined to open a portal. Harnessing the elite minds and willpower of all nations, Cern has set its course into another plane of existence. Conspiracies surrounding this international organization and their occult ties abound, and their true motives may be more than a scientific yearning. For years, people have reported strange portal-like openings near their Large Hadron Collider, along with strange occurrences bordering on the paranormal. There's something happening in the physics these people are grasping at. It's filled with ghost particles, Big Bang recreations, and engineering colliders so swift they smash substances down to quarks in a contained subspace, hoping to find the secrets of an original engineer. And of course, at the height of their feat, possibly stand in his place. Wield the power of God and become a god yourself, right? But this may have come before. Many believe that the biblical account of Babel and its fantastic tower attempting to reach God may have been more of a portal or door, a technological device, that in one way or another, man willed his way to equaling God in his mind. And according to the Genesis account, it was the confounding of their languages by God that stopped their construction of this doorway to heaven. Archaeologists think that Babel was one gateway of many from the past. Many Babylonian and Sumerian tablets contain accounts of building these bridges to the gods. And much of the information contained in these tablets has remained uninterpreted and cryptic. But is man about to undo the language barrier established at Babel? A team of linguists from the Iraq Museum and the Institute for Assyriology created their own AI bot to decode previously illegible fragments of ancient Babylonian texts. And not only have they digitized every surviving Babylonian cuneiform tablet, but have processed 22,000 ancient text fragments, and the AI database then pieces these together and has been named the Fragmentarium. Is this tech building the stairway that was started so long ago? In the 1980s, Saddam Hussein was very interested in an ancient Sumerian ziggurat, and for some reason he worked heavily on its restoration. It was actually used as a military post for the Iraqis in the Gulf War. But among the standard weapons stored there, Saddam may have been hiding and protecting something beyond modern tech, left there by the Sumerians. One fascinating thing about this is that Saddam saw himself as a modern reincarnation of Nebuchadnezzar, the ancient Babylonian king, and tasked himself with the massive reconstruction of Babylon. There is a conspiracy theory concerning the true use of the ziggurat, and it's pretty far out there, but some believe that the invasion of Iraq, which was initiated because of Hussein's hiding of weapons of mass destruction, was actually perpetrated solely for the control of the historical site of Ur, because somewhere within or directly above was a stargate leading somewhere that had the US government interested enough to wage war to obtain its power. So where or what was this cosmic opening? The Mesopotamians and Sumerians worshipped a group of powerful masters called the Anunnaki. Said to be of tremendous size and strength, they towered over the ancient humans who worshipped them. And they attributed fantastic powers to these strange gods who were covered in melum, a mysterious substance said to make them terrifying in splendor. And when they wanted to descend from heaven to our world, they used stargates, and this ziggurat was built around where one of these gates was used. And it's no doubt still considered a sacred site. On March 6, 2021, Pope Francis visited Ur, urging many Muslim and Christian leaders to come together and unify, and said this during his speech near the ziggurat. Quote, "This blessed place brings us back to our origins. We seem to have returned home." Unquote. But some have pointed out a more occult association with this place. The city was seemingly laid out in the alignment of the Orion constellation, also in the shape of the Seal of Solomon, an ancient symbol whose legend tells that it was used in a magical ring. The seal gave King Solomon power over demons, and he used it to detain these beings, question them on the knowledge of the universe, and even to force them to labor in completing his pristine temple complex. Take a look at the inner hexagon. It holds many fascinating associations and mirrors another cosmic body looming large in the heavens. One that emits mysterious radio transmissions from its core, unlike any other planets in the solar system. The planet Saturn is home to a cosmic storm 18,000 miles wide in the shape of a hexagon. Saturn was worshipped as a corridor to other dimensions in antiquity, and the hexagon is associated with the black cube symbol. Most scientists can only speculate that the hexagon is caused by massive winds moving across its surface, culminating at the pole. But others, like Nick Hinton, think it may be caused by an opening in space-time. In his book, The Saturn Time Cube Simulation, he posits the idea, saying, quote, "Perhaps a gate has always been there. On top of Saturn is a hexagon that some scientists suggest might be the side effect of a gravitationally stabilized wormhole inside the planet." Unquote. And conspiracy theorist David Icke wrote several books on the subject, one being Everything You Need to Know But Have Not Been Told. In this book, he coins the term Saturn Stargate. And in his book titled The Trap, he says that Saturn is, quote, "the gateway or boundary one must cross to enter heaven." Certain members of the Nazi elite worshiped the Black Sun, and some believe that this lesser black hole was the object of their veneration. The reason for its association with the black cube is that the 2D hexagon can be seen as a representation of a 3D cube. And if you're not familiar with the cult of the black cube and the occult associations with this symbol, Click on my video here for more in-depth information on the subject. And a fascinating thing to consider is that Saturn being a gateway is a theme that has occurred for decades in movies and entertainment. 2013's Interstellar and the 2001 remake of Planet of the Apes both feature gateways near Saturn. And although the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey changed the location of the wormhole, in the original book, it featured the portal being near Saturn. If Saturn is what some think it is, where does it lead? Is there an exit doorway? What other kinds of strangeness is lurking in our universe? Recently, scientists have discovered mass that seems to spontaneously emerge from a single point. And they've dubbed these anomalies as white holes. And they have two prominent theories as to why they exist. One, either time is flowing backward in a region of space around the event horizon of a black hole, and in turn they do not obey the laws of space-time. But a second theory has emerged, and it speculates that white holes may be the exit point of a black hole as a gateway to another universe, making matter into light energy as it emerges from an infinitesimally small point. Could these be the exit points to these gateways to nowhere? As far as Einstein's equations on relativity, they seem to check out, and scientists say that they're mathematically possible. But let's consider a more terrifying possibility for an exit point. There exist extremely dark places in our universe, voids, some so massive they're referred to as supervoids. One of the largest is Boötes Void, also known as the Great Nothing. It's a cold, desolate void in space, stretching 62 megaparsecs, or 330 million light-years across. Containing few galaxies, it appears as a black shadow on galactic maps, emitting almost no visible light. Imagine entering such a place and what you would experience. Many biblical descriptions of hell talk about deep, penetrating darkness and separation. Could this be the location of this legendary place of torment? Or is it something so far beyond us, we can't grasp what we're looking at? But if you haven't seen part 1 of Doorways to Nowhere, click here, or watch one of my videos on the soul and the afterlife. Until next time.